To understand Sergeant Kenei's death, we have to go back and we have to look at it holistically. You see, the problem is that we are always looking at things with a fixed mind, especially if the name of somebody we don't like hovers around. Now let us start this way. If you want to understand Kenei's death, start as far back as is relevant to this work. Kenei's father was a former police inspector. Some of us have gone into the professions of our parents, and you'll find that regularly, if you are doing the same profession that your father did or your parent did, whenever you have time with him or her, you find that you discuss professional work in a freer environment because of two things. One, your parent knows what you're going through. And two, your parent is also sworn to oath of secrecy. So you find that if you are a police officer and your father is a former police officer, you find that talking about the joys and challenges of your work becomes very, very easy. So let us start from where Kenei used to talk to his father. He used to tell his father that he was unhappy at his place of work. He was a sergeant, the father was a former inspector. So Kenei was telling his father that he was not happy with his place of work because even though he was a Kalenjin, but when it came to good assignments, the good assignments were being given to Kalenjins who were Nandi. I think Kenei was a Kipsigis. So he was trying to show that those who are being given good assignment were Nandis. And who are the Nandis? Rutos subtribe. So he was trying to say that even though he's a Kalenjin, but when it came to good assignment, a certain subtribe was given priority. Now, who was giving priority? I think I'd excuse you if you are if you have never been in the disciplined forces, to even think that the Deputy President Ruto assigns guards. Yes, he may have one or two whom he knows personally, but in most cases, there is a gazetted officer who does the assignment. And what are these good jobs that were being assigned? Look at Kenei. Kenei was always given the duty to be the senior guard. And those who have worked in G4S, you know, the senior guard, a sort of a supervisor for Harambee House Annex. So what I want to read is here, because having worked both in government police and private security, is that when the job that he was given at Harambee House Annex was more of a senior watchman. So there were watchmen who were guarding the Deputy President's office. He was given the duty there. And which are these good duties that he was complaining about? If the Deputy President goes to other places, leave alone even going, I'll tell you, his rank, a sergeant, he could not even think of escorting the president to a foreign land, unless he was personally known to the president from the days when the president maybe was a minister. But in most cases, gazetted officers are the ones who go, who accompany the deputy president abroad because of the seriousness of the job. And also, supposing you are heading the department, the security of the deputy president, and you're supposed to allocate people, how do you give a sergeant duty to go with the deputy president to America, where he will be getting 40,000 per day, instead of you going and you'll be getting 80,000 per day? So you find that necessity is that the senior most government officials go with senior officers, and even the senior officers who allocate duties do allocate to themselves so as to gain financially. And I don't think even a visiting country would entertain you being escorted by a corporal or an NCO. So my conclusion is that he meant that when the deputy president was going round the country, you know, going around the country, there is what we call night out allowances. So he was complaining about that night out allowances. Again, look at it this way. When you walk around with people, Ruto peana, sio mkono gamu. Mudavadi ukienda. Anyway. When you go around the country with people like Ruto, there is apart from the night outs, and also there are those people when he goes to, let's say, your home county and your governor sees you're working with the president, you see, the day you'll be on off, the governor will hold you in the highest. There is a lot of financial, social, and whatever privileges that somebody gets if he's escorting the president, because he was a junior officer escorting the president within the country, both financial and otherwise. So he was just placed at Arambe House Annex, reporting on duty at night and reporting off during the day. Whom do you meet? Whom do you influence? Whom do you do whatever? You have to bear that in mind. 2, talk of Echesa. Echesa was involved in going out of the country and coming out of the country. And you find that if you are a VIP, avoid taking selfies with people you don't know, because these people may use those selfies to say, I'm close to so and so. So, Echesa, having wanted to con people or whatever, he can take me to court. And then they told me that police wakifungwa, anyway, Echesa can take me to court if he wants to. Echesa was doing magendo business, and he was doing magendo business visiting foreign countries and even coming to Kenya. So he managed to get foreigners. He managed to get foreigners to come to Kenya, and when he managed to come to Kenya with them, he organized with the senior guard who was there. Of course, you see, if you are given something reasonable, it can even bypass what others did. But you see, the others get, when they are going around with the president in the deputy president, in all other places, they get clean money. But you have allowed Echesa to go and even enter the deputy president's office so that these armed dealers believe, that the highest officers in the country are aware and have accepted. So, Kenei organized for Echesa to enter that place, the deputy president's place, so that he doesn't. He organized for the them to enter the deputy president's office so as to be seen as if the deputy president has approved it. But when they left, a few meters from there, they were arrested. Kenei did not know that they had been arrested 10 meters from the place. After they had been arrested, Kenei, not working during daytime and having an off, he decided to go to Nakuru. Going to Nakuru, while he was in a hotel, he saw on TV, I think it was Citizen TV, but don't take that one to the bank unless you are taking it to the river bank. He was watching news on TV and he noticed that Echesa had been arrested he was arrested with those foreigners. And those who were there say that they saw him very worried and very concerned, and he went near to the screen and listened to it. Why? He listened to it because he knew that he was involved in the illegal arm deals. He knew that he was in the illegal arm deals, and so he knew things were bad. And he told them, things are so bad that I have to rush back to Nairobi. He rushed back to Nairobi, and went to the house that he had rented. And you know, he had 2 houses. This one, very few people knew him, knew that, okay, those who were staying there knew that he had rented a servant's court or something like that, but he had another house. So this was a safe house where he used to deal with secret affairs that he did. Then instead of going to the house that that was his official, he went to his safe house and then shot himself. Yes, I've said it, shot himself. The only unfortunate thing is that when he shot himself, nobody heard it. I have handled several cases of shooting. Kenei, in, was it August or September 1983, the wreck company officer who shot himself at wreck company camp at Kenei near Kacheliba. I have handled very many. Alale, my own friend, my personal friend, the person I still cry up to today, whenever I see my grandchildren, I say he should have been having it. Charles Kimani shot himself at Sigor. I've had a lot of cases. The first person to enter that house found that the door was a bit open, and when he tried to enter in, he found the body was blocking the door from opening. It is impossible to shoot somebody, then get out, then pull his body, then so that anybody trying. So he shot himself and fell and blocked the door. Now what happens? The first thing that happens with the officers of the scenes of crime, not even officers of the scene of crime, the first person on a scene of an accident or death or anything, establish if there are people who are dead and those who are alive. By law, you are not supposed to declare a person dead. So you rush a person to hospital. When police officers who had arrived there were rushing him to the hospital, of course they knew that he was dead, but they were rushing him to the hospital. Let me tell you, in a scene of an accident or anything, people say, oh, why didn't he take, you know, they were supposed to take photographs immediately, especially nowadays that we have phones. They should have taken a photograph immediately. But you see, in a case of life and death, and you want to rush a person to the hospital, you humanly forget a lot of things. So they rushed him, and the information went and reached Kinoti, the Directorate of Criminal Investigation. You see, if you have not taken, if there is an accident, if there is an incident, and you have not taken a picture of that place, the scenes of crime people will come and take it as it is, secondary level. You know, it is good to take immediately something happened. But when these detectives were taking him to the hospital, they told that we are sure he's dead. And Kinoti ordered them to turn back and go back to the house and lay him the way they found him. It is not allowed that way. The picture should be taken when the scene has not been interfered. But when it has been interfered, you don't take a second picture. You take a picture without the body, but tell the people how the body was. Lastly, what did Kinoti do? What Kinoti did was, he was seen, people even photographed him, where he was in that room. It was a small room, and he was trying to tell the detective, look, this is where he shot himself, and this is how he fell. Now, how can you, how can you come, find the people who were there earlier than you, find your professional colleagues who are earlier than you, having visited this, they are the ones who are supposed to tell you how the scene is. But he was trying to tell them. Why was he trying to tell them? He was trying to place an idea into their mind. He was trying to cook the he was trying to cook the story. What I would want to say here, summary as I finish, is that Echesa involved himself in arm buying things, and he compromised the senior guard at the annex place. When he compromised the senior guard at the annex place, when the senior guard discovered that, he shot himself. When he shot himself, because of the political tension that was happening then, Kinoti, the most useless director of CID Kenya ever had and will ever have, seized an opportunity. He saw that that was an opportunity now to pin Ruto. But you see, it is not a matter of pinning Ruto or anything, but it is a matter of spoiling the case that Kenei may never have justice.